I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today I have a dream that one day down in Alabama, with its vicious racists, with its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, one day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted, and every hill and mountain shall be made low. The rough places will be made plain, and the crooked places will be made straight. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. And this is a faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning, my country, tears of thee. Sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. So let freedom ring from the prodigious.
When the stakes are high, the debates get hotter. When the issues demand clarity, we bring the fire. Welcome to Crossfire. Crossfire, where politics meets perspective, where issues are dissected, and where no topic is off limits. From the corridors of power to the pulse of the streets, we break down the politics, the controversies, and the decisions that shape our nation. Join Dr. Tony Olisangbeki as he puts guests on the hot seat, drilling them with the tough questions, demanding the hard truths, and leaving no room for half measures. Get ready for fearless conversations and uncompromising analysis. Crossfire, exclusive on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha, every Saturday from 9 a.m.
Very lovely morning to you and welcome to Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM this very beautiful Saturday morning. Today is the 7th day in the month of February, the year 2026. Wherever you are listening to us from, whatever you may be doing at this very point, and remember, we have got one thing to tell you. We have come here to profess the truth and nothing but the truth. That's more reason we said not dicere veritas, not dicere unison veritas, not dicere vivica cabit veritas, not dicere lingolum lingolum, not dicere contra lingolum lingolum. This is Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM, the poker political programs that mirrors every political development in Nigeria and beyond. We are here to serve the truth and nothing but the truth. And recall that on Crossfire, we call a spade a spade. We can never call a spade by any other name. You're welcome once again. It's 9 minutes than the hour of 9 here in Nigeria, and also 9 minutes than the hour of 8 a.m. in UK, 9 minutes than the hour of 5 p.m. in Japan. We also have 9 minutes than the hour of 9 a.m. in Germany, 9 minutes than the hour of 4 p.m. in China, and also 39 minutes than the hour of 1 p.m. in Delhi, India. It's about 9 minutes than the hour of 10 a.m. in Johannesburg, 9 minutes than the hour of 10 a.m. in Jerusalem, and also 9 minutes than the hour of 12 midday in United Arab Emirates, Dubai. We are welcoming every one of you from wherever you are listening to us from. Remember, you can be part of this very program by visiting our social media handles. You can watch the program live on our Facebook. Just search Udala FM. You can also watch the program live on our YouTube channel at Udala FM. And you can also listen to the program on Radio Garden. Just search Udala FM. And you can also listen to the program on our website, www.radioudala.com. These are different handles and channels. You can be part of the program. You are welcome. And we'll be looking at the most contentious issue in Nigeria as we speak today, the issue of controversial Section 60, subsection 2, and also the proposed subsection 3. Many people have had their thoughts, their takes, their dispositions, and also their position as well on this very epochal issue. Protests have erupted in different parts of the country. Statements have been made by those who are for and those who are against this issue. We'll be looking at these very issues today. But before we do that, remember, we must serve you the political random stories. I'm not alone in the studio. I'm here in the studio to do justice to this development. And I have in the studio this very morning Barrister Shuba Oranose. Barrister Shuba Oranose is a legal practitioner, a solicitor of the Supreme Court, and a public affairs analyst, a public commentator. It's my pleasure to welcome you, Barrister Shuba Oranose. My pleasure this very morning.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tony. It's my pleasure to be here.
Do not forget, I'm still your honorable speaker, Tony Olisambeki. Let's begin by serving you the political random stories before we get down to the business of the day. Let's quickly do that. With this very development, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has clarified that the attendance of the Samuel Anyanwu-led National Working Committee (NWC) of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) at its recent engagement with political parties does not amount to the Commission's recognition of one faction over another. The clarification followed questions over why only the Anyanwu group was present at the meeting, with the Turaki-led group absent. Many Nigerians have been bashing and latching at INEC, saying, why would you bring Wike faction to that political engagement, which was hosted by INEC? But they have come out to say that that does not amount to, in any way, recognizing any of the faction. The All Progressives Congress APC yesterday stunned political watchers with a major reordering of its convention leadership, in a move that has injected fresh suspense into the ruling party's internal calendar. The APC replaced Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma with former Katsina State Governor Aminu Bello Masari as chairman of the National Convention Central Coordination Committee. The Budget, a budget transparency organization that tracks the budget performance in Nigeria, has uncovered 92 fraudulent projects across the country. In its 2024/2025 tracker report released yesterday, in which 2,760 projects were tracked, 92 were categorized fraudulent projects, with many left unfinished. The Court of Appeal in Abuja has upheld the 2.5 billion naira judgment given on November 30, 2015 by the National Industrial Court of Nigeria against the Ahmadu Bello University ABU Zaria over its unlawful disengagement of 110 staff in 1996. The appellate court also ordered the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) to promptly release the judgment sum to the staff. The Joint Health Sector Union's JOHESU has suspended its nationwide strike after 84 days of industrial action. JOHESU suspended the strike at the end of its expanded National Executive Council (NEC) emergency meeting held in Abuja on Friday. Suspected armed herdsmen on Friday afternoon attacked Anwase Market in Maiko, Kwande local government area of Benue State, kidnapping several market women and setting the market ablaze. Witnesses say the attackers invaded the community from a nearby mountain, firing sporadically to cause panic before setting stores, the entire market on fire, and abducting women. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Friday received the governor of Kaduna State, Senator Oba Sani, at the presidential villa Abuja. Governor Sani briefed the president on the successful rescue of worshippers abducted from the churches in the Kumin Wali community of Kajuri local government area sometime around January 17, 2026. A 40-year-old woman has been arrested by operatives of the Ondo State Police Command for allegedly poisoning a 3-year-old boy, Abdurrashid, in Odibo local government area of the state. The suspect, identified as Nafisat Latif, who is the landlady of the victim's mother, allegedly forced a liquid substance suspected to be poisonous into the mouth of the toddler. And also 4 soldiers were feared killed in Boko Haram ambush at Auno near Jakana along the Maiduguri-Damaturu Road in Borno State. It was gathered that the incident occurred on Thursday night at about 10:50 p.m. Some soldiers serving in the area said the troops were ambushed while going to reinforce colleagues under attack. And finally, gunmen suspected to be cultists have beheaded the president of the Omoku Youth Federation in Ogba, Egbema, Ndoni local government area of River State, Ifanye Azuazo, and shot dead his personal aide, Chigozie Olowu. The incident occurred around 6 p.m. on Thursday when about 7 assailants stormed a popular drinking spot along Ogolo Street off Palace Road in Omokutan. And we also have to let you know that such incidents or similar incidents happened in Anambra State, this time around taking place at Ogidi. We are learning that the President General of the Town Union in Moscow is in the news. We learned that he was killed last night by a gang of cultists who are going after those they believe were responsible to the arrest and also the death of one Emma Amasco. So the incident is actually disturbing the neighborhood, and many people are asking questions about how Chief Ikwuka, the President General of Ogidi Development Union, was killed last night. Just like we know before now that the one Amasco, a notorious drug addict and also a killer, a serial killer for that matter, had been on the trail of the security operatives. But the security operatives rounded him up and he was arrested. But he started making confessions about the number of people he had killed before that period. And he named about 46 persons he had killed. And he was quoted to have said that he had killed about 17 persons from Ogidi. And before you know it, he was shot at the foot by one of the vigilante operators who incidentally felt touched by the number of people this young man said he had killed. But in a twist of events, his members swung into action to go after those they felt were responsible for his arrest and his death. Remember, he was not killed at the spot. He died as a result of the gunshot injury he sustained while he was giving his confessional statement. But in his confessions, as we are reported, he said that most of his gang members, they have all been killed. In fact, they had all been killed, and it was just one who is actually suffering from kidney-related problems. So the confession, I believe, is everywhere on the social media. Right now we have to get back to the studio, back to what we have this very morning. We've been looking at this issue, the contentious transmission, electronic transmission, transfer, and what you have it. Very well that the contentious issue of electronic transmission of election results in Nigeria centers on the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2026, formerly the Electoral Act 2022, Repeal and Reenactment Amendment Bill 2026, passed by the Senate on February 4th, 2026, after clause-by-clause debate in the Committee of the Whole. The core controversy revolves around Clause 60, specifically around subsection 3 in the proposed amendments, which deals with how results from polling units are sent to the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) results viewing portals (IREV). This has sparked widespread outrage, accusations of betrayal, procedural manipulation, and fears of rigging ahead of the 2027 general elections. If you look at the background under the Electoral Act 2022, Section 60, the key provision on result transmission is the presiding officer counts votes at the polling unit, enters them on Form EC8A, that's the result sheet, announces them publicly, and has the form signed, stamped by themselves, and countersigned by party agents where present. Then Section 60, subsection 5 states the presiding officer shall transfer the results, including the total number of accredited voters and the results of the ballot, in a manner as prescribed by the Commission. This wording gives INEC the discretionary power over the method and timing of transmission, whether electronic or otherwise. It allows electronic upload via BVAS devices to IREV, but does not mandate it as compulsory or real time. In practice, if you go by antecedent 2023 general elections and off-cycle polls, INEC used BVAS to scan and upload Form EC8A images to IREV shortly after polling unit close, often within hours, but failures, delays, and incomplete uploads occurred in some areas. Courts, including the Supreme Court in 2023 rulings, held that IREV uploads lacked full legal backing as a mandatory collation tool due to the discretionary language, leading to disputes where electronic evidence was sometimes denounced. So these are the issues. But if you look at the proposed amendment, we must let you know that the proposed clause, that is Section 60, subsection 3 wording, varied slightly in reports, but the consistent in intent. The presiding officer shall electronically transmit the results from each polling unit to INEC result viewing portal IREV in real time, and such transmission shall be done simultaneously with the physical collection of results, or similar phrasing, requiring immediate upload after Form EC8A is signed, stamped, and countersigned. So the issue there is the timing. That is immediately after tabulation and counting, cross-checking, verification, public announcement, signing and stamping of Form EC8A, and counter-signing as well before the presiding officer leaves the polling units or moves results to ward or local government collation centers. Of course, many of those who are advocating for this very provision believe that it will create an immutable digital record viewable publicly on IREV instantly, reducing risk of alteration during physical transport and collation, a major source of past election petitions, and which many believe that it is synonymous to go to court. Now, that is the issue, and we are looking around those who are proposing, those who are against, because if you look at the Senate President and his leadership in that very Senate, they are against this electronic transmission. But if you look at the ADC, African Democratic Congress, and majority of Nigerians, they are in for this. Barrister Chuba Orano say, there is disparity, there is controversy, protests have erupted, Nigerians are talking, I no go agree, I no go agree. Where does this take us? But before then, what's their take on all these issues and the controversies these have also generated? Let's get a thought.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tony. The fact, my problem with the leaders of Nigeria, especially coming from the legislative arm, which makes the law, is that we seem not to have grown beyond politics. They need to be not just being leaders of the legislature and therefore the lawmaking arm of the government, but we need to advance from politicking, from politics to nation building. I believe that these leaders of ours know that they are supposed to move this nation to build a nation state, then we would have gone beyond this type of rhetorics in the law. If you check section 60, it begins that the electoral officer shall. The word shall is mandatory. But then at the end of that section, it says in a manner prescribed by INEC. And what did he say? He said, because they say it's according to their guideline. And the P2B and co went to court after the election, and they were told that guidelines are not in the same standing as laws. And that was what happened. Now today we are amending the law, and we have not cured that anomaly. We have not removed that gray area of transmission of results. What we wanted and what Nigerians, those who framed it, those who had the good intention, is to give real-time results from each polling unit to the IREV, so that anyone that's observing will be able to tabulate, will be able to say this is the result in polling unit A, this is the result from polling unit A, until they get to the collation center and you say this is what returned to the collation center, that it tallies with what happened in the polling unit, so that no one will have any reason to argue. There won't be any controversy, there won't be any gray areas. It is open, it would have been open to everybody. But today we are still discussing whether that which was discussed at the committee level has been adopted or not, whether we will have to remain the way we are, to leave it at the discretion of INEC, not minding that the beginning word says that the presiding officer shall transfer. This is what I think is the problem we have with Nigeria. We should move forward and not remain static.
All right, there are people who are thinking that why they do not want that electronic transmission is as a result of hacking. There are hackers everywhere. Those who can easily hack results in a way that it can be altered, so it might not reflect the will of the people. Listening to one of those people who is against, or one of those who have come against this proposal, Reno Mokore, and then I'm going to let you know some of the things he said, but we are going to fact check every position he maintained in that his post, because he was actually hitting hard on Madam Obiageli as a president. I don't know why he decided to pick the woman out. I want to maybe I don't want to go deep into some of the things he said against the woman. I wouldn't want to go into some of the things he said. Now, he said that in the United Kingdom, we are both. I mean, I don't want to just call people's name, but I'm gonna just look at the content or the real issue I want to extract. So, but he was talking about in the United Kingdom, there is no real-time transmission of election results by the UK Electoral Commission. And then even before then, he said, even in United States of America, there is no real-time transmission of election result by the Federal Election Commission. He said that everybody should fact-check him. Even he said that placing impossible standards that cannot be met by even the most technologically advanced nations on earth on the Independent National Electoral Commission is not patriotic. That's what he said. That this quest that election result be transmitted real-time, it is, according to him, an impossible standards that cannot be met even by the most technologically advanced nation on earth. But then he went further to say that it was a case whereby the joint matriculation or joint admission and matriculation board JAMB, where a particular girl, a Christian Igbo girl, that's the way he put it, where a particular Igbo Christian girl wanted to cheat the registrar and also the joint admission and matriculation board. In fact, that action nearly caused a religious strife in the country, but for quick actions on the part of the security forces, according to him, that it was discovered that the young Mesoma Ejikeme, not underage but was actually 19 years, a full-blown adult, forged her results sent to her electronically by JAMB and deceived millions of Nigerians. And now Nigerians should ask themselves this question: if a 19-year-old secondary school student can scam JAMB by falsifying her results, which was transmitted electronically to her, imagine how many people who would do the same by forging such results. Now let's take this issue. But then he said he should be fact-checked anyway. But we looked around in an attempt to fact-check Reno or Mokere, an ambassador designate. We understand that there are few countries. He said there's no country in the world that transmit real time. That why do you want to place that standard on INEC. That's what he said. And he said that United States of America, United Kingdom, these are technologically advanced countries. They do not transmit election results real time. Why do you want to place that on INEC? That was his question. But I'm going to leave this in open to you. But before then, let me give you the fact check. We did fact check. We understand that he is wrong when he said there is no country in the world. And also, he is also wrong when he said that it is an impossible tax. But the fact check, few countries implement a system exactly like the one debated in Nigeria's Electoral Act amendment, where presiding officers at each polling unit are legally required to upload a scanned image of data of the signed result sheet, that is from EC8A, in real time, immediately after tabulation, cross-checking, announcement, signing, stamping, and counter-signing by the party agents to a publicly accessible central portal. That is one we call IREV, for instant citizens verification, while still using paper ballots and manual counting at the unit level. Now, these are countries involved. Kenya. This is the closest parallel to Nigeria's IREV proposal, because since 2027, Kenya's Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, because in their own they added boundary to the very commission, IEBC, uses KIEM's kit biometric devices to transmit polling station results electronically to a central server. Results are uploaded shortly after counting and announcement at the polling station, with public access via online portals. Like if you go by their last results, in fact in 2022, polling stations results were released in they did say real time. Polling station results were released in near real time for transparency, though not always instantly due to technical issues. It is mandatory under electoral law in Kenya, with public viewing to build trust after past disputes. Kenya's system has been praised for pioneering paper ballots. In fact, why they say near real time is because of certain delays. Now, if you go to Philippines, I'm going to let you know that they use automated counting machines, optical scanners at polling precincts. Results are transmitted electronically from precincts to a central server shortly after polls close, often within hours, with high percentage by election night. You will see high percentage. That's Philippines. Brazil, fully electronic voting since 2000. No paper ballots in most cases. Voters use electronic machines at polling stations. Votes are tallied instantly on the devices. Then you can also Mongolia and others. So he said we should fact check him. Yes, United States of America do not do that. United Kingdom do not do real-time transmissions. But we know very well that their elections are as good as very standard, no disputation. Why Kenya, Brazil, some of the countries that adopted this method, is as a result of disputations. Something must trigger something. But in any case, yes, he's right when he said US does not do it, UK does not do it. But the question is, do they usually have disputations, controversy arising as a result of their elections? That's the question I want to place to you, Barrister Shuba Orano. Say, when they don't do it, why? Is it because they cannot do it? And he said that this tax is impossible. INEC has said we have the capacity, we can do it. But Reno Mokori is saying they cannot do it. It's an impossible tax, it's an impossible standard that the Nigerian Senate wants to place on the INEC. Let's get a thought on all these things said, the fact checks and everything we should know.
Thank you very much. Like you said, you fast checked and you found out that nations, even as underdeveloped as Kenya, do real-time electronic transmission of results. I have said so that the problem is that those who govern this nation, those who are at the apex of the rulership of this nation, are not minded to nation building. If you are, there is no way you will not strive to be the best. There's no way we cannot improve. We all know that a lot of money was spent to get these things installed. Yes, there will always be glitches. There will always be possibility of hackers. But there are provisions made electronically to also prevent such things from happening. And therefore, we must strive for the best. If you think it was only Trump in his first election, in the election he lost, that wanted to raise disputation as to results. Otherwise, in America, before the close of election, before on the eve, before the night falls, the loser congratulates the winner, because these results come in flawlessly, and they accept it and they move along. That's how nations are built. But here in Nigeria, you will be at a polling unit. You will vote. You are there where the accreditation is made. You are there when the results are entered in from EC8A. Now, and you head to the collation center. By the time you get to the collation center, part of the party agents will not be allowed to get into the collation center, which the law allows them to do. And the result that will come from that polling unit where you were will be something totally different, because it was being manually transferred. If it had been electronically transferred, there wouldn't be any chance of anybody manipulating that result. Therefore, and since each time there is election in Nigeria, everybody heads to the court, we will help the judiciary. We also help ourselves by having to put every check, every factor that will make these things to be real, everything that will not give room for manipulation, everything that will not make people begin to doubt. As a matter of fact, there's this skepticism in Nigeria about having to go and vote. People say no. When they say there's an election, at the end of the day, what you see is selection. Do their votes count? And we tell them your vote counts. If you come out and vote and you watch your vote, you will count. But if someone as high as an ambassador designate, someone who is in the social media space, in short, in the not just social media, who's always in the news, will be taking us backwards. Someone who wants us to remain backwards, then he is not willing to move Nigeria forward. We should improve. We should try to do better than we have done the previous year. That's the essence of governance. In Igbo adage, we say that
All right, I want to ask you, because he did say something about hackers, these Yahoo boys, that it could be that these ADC people and many Nigerians who are rooting for one candidate like that, they have planned a lot, and they're on social media spaces. These guys are very good when it comes to hacking, destructions, and doing a number of things. That these are the fears of those who believe that allow INEC to do their job. Don't you think that these hackers are everywhere? Don't you think that many obedience are hackers, and they may hack results to the advantage of their own principle? And we have seen many of them being on social media spaces, and we have seen many of them generating AI videos. We've seen many of them doing a number of things. Don't you think there is a point? Or don't you think that these people, they are all out to see that these elections may not be what it may be, or what it may look like?
You see, the asking for electronic transfer does not say discard with the manual transfer. So there will be something with which to check. There will be a comparison. I agree, there are hackers, there are AI, and they are not limited to a particular party. They are not limited to a particular group. We have found out that in recent time, that people who are very conservative, people who are thought to be at the core of conservatism in Nigeria, also have gone into a lot of fraud and criminality, both electronically and otherwise. So we will not say that someone who wants Nigeria to develop, to move forward, to have a flawless and verifiable election result will be those who are criminally minded, those who are fraudsters. I do not believe so. I believe that those are people who want this nation to move forward. I believe that those who want an election to be transparent. And once it's transparent, we will find more people, more decent people getting into politics. Because what we have here, there's this, the politics is a dirty business, it's a dirty game. So those who are decent want to stay away. But if it is made decent, if it is open, if it's transparent, we'll have more better heads in politics. We'll have better human beings in Nigeria, and perchance Nigeria will be turned around to become the land of honey, where honey flows in it. That's what it will become if we allow people who are decent, people who are honest, people who are hardworking in governance. That's what we are asking. Those who are asking for the idea to be transparency, and the best form of transparency is direct, immediate, real-time transmission of results to portals where people will view and follow, is the way to go. It is not the way to go because there may be criminals, therefore we will not attempt. He who does not venture does not succeed. It's when you venture you succeed. We keep improving. It's work in progress, and I think what to do is to make it mandatory on INEC to do real-time transmission of results. Let's wait for the hackers and wait for those who will manipulate things. They'd always been there. They'd always been caught by the law. I haven't seen any successful Yahoo boy or fraudster, who has got, even those, there are those who had gotten to the peak of their career, those who have been respected and had handshakes and dined with presidents who have been brought down.
Okay. All right. Let's quickly let you know, because that's a take, because many people may disagree with this position. Because if you look at what was reported in 2023 elections, you remember the 2023 elections, the one that was disputed, the one that was really caused a number of controversies, the very results. In fact, INEC and the Minister of Communications, Iksa Pantami, at that time reported over 12.9 million cyber attack attempts. I'm just trying to read from the official report.
Okay.
INEC and the Minister of Communications, Iksa Pantami, at the time the 2023 elections were going on, they reported over 12.9 million cyber attack attempts, including DDoS, brute force, phishing. These were some tools used on INEC server. In fact, on INEC server during that February 2025 presidential vote. But according to Pantami, these were blocked or mitigated. No successful breach or data alteration was confirmed. INEC attributed upload delays to technical glitches, network issues, not hacks, though opposition parties like PDP alleged foul play. Now, if you go to partisan accusation, pro-APC and Tinubu supporters and pages, like if you go to Facebook groups, we have a particular page called Jagaban Disciples. We also have another one called Remi Tinubu Support. They have frequently accused the obedient movement of planning to hack INEC servers via mandatory real-time transmission. They claim that they have shopped for hackers around the world. Igbos in diasporas have been positioned from their different diaspora locations. Russian hackers have been positioned. They are trying all in the event to make this electronic transmission to be something that must be included, so that they will, from their diasporian locations around the world, the Russian hackers, Igbo diasporas, they have been well put in place to hack INEC servers come 2027. So these are repeated in viral posts by this very Facebook page, Jagaban Disciples and Remi Tinubu Support. But then if you look at the pro-Obi and obedient voices, have also come up with their own counter accusations. In fact, they have come up with this APC INEC that they are of the same, they are causing internal manipulation. So you look at these claims and counter claims, because where do these things leave us? Because if you go on to start digging deep, you will see more. You will see more. I don't know about these Russian hackers. I don't know about this Igbo diasporan community, because I don't know, even in the diaspora they have a community, Igbo diasporan community, that have been stationed all over the world. According to this page, though no verifiable evidence, we are just telling you what was posted on social media posts, that these people are all out. That's why they are pushing for this electronic transmission, because the word there is transmission. If you hear transmission, it means real time. That's the difference between transmission and transfer. Transmission comes with real time. See, can we take anything substance from this accusation? Because Russians are good when it comes to hacking. Can we take anything serious? Or I can boldly say that there could be atom of truth in this. Don't you think so?
To be honest with you, there is no atom of truth in what they are saying. You see, when you just told us what the then Minister of Information and Digital what's it called? Communication did. They said they were able to check the attempt
12.9 million
attempts so at hacking. Now, if they successfully in 2023 prevented 12 point something million attempts at hacking or disrupting the election results, then there is no way Nigeria would not be in a better position to stop them in 2027 election. There is no doubt about it. Fact is that the fact that there will always be, we will never say because there are thieves, therefore we will not engage in business. We must. What we have to be doing is to make sure we put structures in place to prevent our properties from being stolen. People don't get into the farm and say, oh, because there might be drought, therefore you don't go to farm. You go to your farm and pray to God that the rains come. If they will not, you use irrigation to water your crops. Therefore, we will not, because someone imagines or believes someone may hack, someone may position all over. And in any case, who said that those who are that people from other nationalities are not party to hacking? Why is it limited to Igbo as a tribe? Why is it limited to the obedience? I'm not speaking for the obedience, definitely not. I am not. I mean, my party. I don't want to mention my party, but my party is APC, so I wouldn't be in a. But the truth is that we want to move Nigeria forward. It is not true that a nation, a tribe, will want to have positioned people to hack the next election. It's not true. But it is also not true that this nation, there are people who have positioned themselves to hack those things. The important thing is that those who built that IREV, those who built the portals, have put in safeguards for it not to be easily hacked. And that was why the Pantami was able to, he and his team were able to stop not just 1 million, not 2 million, but 12.9 million attempts at hacking. So I believe that system that stopped it is still in place and will ensure that it does not happen. And if we put it in place, Nigerians will be happy. Like I've said, more people, more honest people, more dedicated people will be in will come into politics, and Nigeria will be better off for it.
Barrister Raranose, you said you're a member of APC.
Yes, I am. I'm a card-carrying member
of APC. Yes, but your party has not made a position on this issue. But you are just saying your mind.
As an
because your party hasn't taken a position as far as this is concerned. Yeah. But we are seeing members of your party who are close to the presidency taking the opposite position which you have taken. We have seen many of them, like Reno Mokori and Ambassador Disglet, strongly opposing electronic transmission. But I want to also break this thing down, because if you look around, we are going to look at the cost of some of these things. The total election budget for 2023 election, remember INEC had made their budgetary proposals prior to the 2023 general election, but they proposed 305 billion for that election. But we learned that 313.4 billion was released. But in all of this, electronic transmission, which they attempted, remember they attempted electronic transmission, but just that it does not have a legal footing. That's the issue. And they reported technical glitches. That was what they told us. and made announcement at I think around 3 a.m. or thereabouts. So it was something attempted, but just like Pantami said, that why these things were going on, about 12.9 million attempts were made to hack INEC server. But the electronic technology cost INEC 117.4 billion in that 2023 election. Deployment of technology to see if they could achieve electronic transmission cost INEC 117.4 billion, and this covered beavers procurement, anti-hacking software, servers, bandwidth, software development, training, and related digital tools, including IREF enhancement, 117.4 billion naira. But we know the price may change as we speak now because of the dollar valuation as at that time. Because if you look at the price of dollar for some of these things at that time was around 400 and something naira. So now we have the price of dollar being at 1,400 and something naira. Barrister, don't you think if we allow this to go on, if that could cost INEC 117.4 billion, if it could cost INEC 117.4 billion, okay, if you are to procure these things with the increment in number of registered voters, this could also trickle or come close to about 700 billion. Is it sustainable?
Fact be told is that most of these equipments did not become useless after the election. Like the beavers, they remained there. It's only to put in the software. It is for us to make sure that the retraining and retraining. So it will not be the capital project has been done already. Now it's in place. All they needed was to think what to do to sustain it. What to do, like you said, the part of things, the anti-hacking devices and the rest, they remain. Those devices did not become useless immediately after the election. The only they need to do, where they need configuration, they configure for the next election. And so the amount expended then may sound very, very, very outrageous. But and then with the cost of the exchange rate of the dollar, it will be, not just multiple, it will be multiple progressions. But the truth be told, there is nothing that we can do that will be too costly for Nigeria to have a flawless and acceptable election. The truth is that people know. I'll give you an example. When we were preparing for the Anambra State governorship election, my colleagues were upbeat. But because I'm on the ground, and I told them there is no way we could beat APGA in this election.
You told them so?
Yes, I did, in the meetings. And I said, we are having support groups and all this. And I said, the way things are today, it will be near impossible to beat Governor Soludo. And a lot of people, it's not that I didn't go to my polling booth and fight like a wounded lion.
Because you are defeated at your polling booth.
Of course I was.
At Oba Ward 1.
That was Oba Ward 1, polling unit 001. That was the only time in my life I have lost in that polling unit.
As an APC member.
When I was PDP at the beginning and I won. And when we went to APC, because my mentor in this political scene is Senator Uche Kunife. Even in APC, the last senatorial election, we won resoundingly in my polling units, and there are 2 in my villages, and I control those places. But the fact that I told them this one would be near impossible, and in my very before, I know what I did compared to what they were doing, yet they scored more votes than I did. So there are facts about things.
And many of us saw it via INEC result being portal, because at around 5 p.m. we have started seeing the result. And then we are viewing the portal as the result we are flashing in.
And nobody went to court thereafter. Those who said the truth was.
But as Anambra election, Anambra is a very small state compared to Nigeria.
I agree.
States.
Anambra
is a very big
state. A microcosm of what happens in other states. And mind you that these things are done, transmitted from the polling unit to the collection unit to the local government center and then to the state before it's done out. So if it could be done in Anambra State, it could be done all over Nigeria simultaneously. Well, it is the spirit, it is the mind to know that, look, we've done very well, we worked very well, we've given the people of Nigeria, we fulfilled our promises, then we'll be able to deliver. Or even if you have not fulfilled all the promises, you give out hope, look, we will do better, we've done this much. When you give us the next chance, we will better on what we have done. That's what governance is all about.
So you've not addressed the cost implication of this
electronic
transmission, because I'm saying if it could cost around 117.4 billion in 2020, but you say that some of these things may not be discarded, they will still be there. It could be reconfigured. But if you are looking at buying anti-hacking materials to software that we engineer this, in fact, I'm into such a circle, that's my area, that's my forte. I will tell you that to design such a software would also require so much humongous amount. Just like somebody said that the US, they don't practice it, the UK, they don't practice it. Kenya, what's the population of Kenya? When it comes to those who are voting, we are talking about over 150 million polling units. That's what we're talking about here.
Please understand me. I have said it before and I'll repeat it. There is no amount of money we will expend to have a transparent and acceptable election in Nigeria that will be too much for this nation. We need to move forward. Why those things no longer matter in America is because when you punch, before the election, those who are outside begin to punch. As you punch the paper, the thing reflects in the calculation unit. On the day of the election, people queue up and cast their votes and go home. And it's there counted, and so there really need no controversies. There are just few areas when the senior Bush was contesting, and Jeb was there, and they now said that which state was that? That the punch, when you punch, that some of the ones that were not the ones that were supposed to fall out did not fall, so they went for a recount. But normally, once you punch, the thing reads, and people collect it. So if we begin today in Nigeria, no matter how much it costs, once you know that you contest an election and you lost, you go home, you congratulate the winner. If you lose, if you win, you will now say you will know that you have a mandate and you go out and serve the people. There are no two ways about this thing. We will not shy away from the fact that someone may hack. Therefore, we will not go electronic. We will not, because that the cost is may be enormous, and we will not go there. We've already started. That's my view. We have started. So what we need to do is to continue until we improve on it and it becomes standardized. There is nothing technology developed, I know, and so, but it's better for the nation that we go that way until we're able to tell ourselves the truth, that we will go to the polling unit, cast our vote, be there and it's counted, and we take what we see as the result and we go home.
Just like we said earlier on, APC, they have not made a statement on this issue, but we know very well that PDP, ADC, NNPP, Labour, they have all made their own positions known. Even Yaga Africa, P2B, Atiku Abubakar allies, they have accused the APC-led Senate of deliberately preserving loopholes for potential manipulation in 2027, viewing the rejection as evidence of fear of transparent elections, saying that this slogan of go to court will not work this time around, that the judiciary is captured, so going to court will not work. But Barrister, I am thinking that, don't you think that this electronic transmission may not favor your party's candidate, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Don't you think, or do you think it will favor him?
Truth be told, as of today, there is no candidate or proposed candidate that will garner more votes than President Bola Tinubu.
You think he will win the election?
He will win a free and fair election.
Even with electronic transmission?
Of course he will. You may like him or you may not like him. As a matter of fact, I'm not enamored about him. But the fact is, like I said to people in Anambra State election, there's no way any party can beat the Afghan Soludo. Governor Soludo. So it's the same. There is no way any party. Is it our former PDP that is in tatters? that will be able to.
ADC is coming up now.
They are coming up. They are coming. It's a conglomeration of people who have decamped from other people who are disgruntled.
Oh, disgruntled.
Yes.
Association of disgruntled politicians. Are you serious? Do you think Atiku is disgruntled?
I don't know what other word to describe him.
Is Atiku disgruntled?
Atiku is as disgruntled as anybody. Here was a man who had the presidency on his hand and he threw it away. Why did he throw it away? We had an agreement that when we go, that if the presidency goes to the north, that the chairmanship of the party will go to the south. Eventually, he contested the election against the wishes of most people in the party because they thought he ought to be south would produce. Then he got the party, he got the nomination of the party, he had the ticket of the party, and still returned Iyochu Ayu as the chairman of the party.
Were you in PDP that time?
Yes, I was in PDP. Yes.
So you followed Wike out of PDP.
And we said yes, and I saw these 5 governors moving. And Wike returns 2 million, up to 2 million votes. No matter, I don't know how he does it.
He never knew how he did it.
But they know he does it. He's always done it. You know, when they were trying to move it, when he had the last election, Arotimi Amechi and APC were trying to do. He said, "Look, that APC, PDP, River State is PDP. There's nothing anybody could do." You saw women take breaths in short to stand against soldiers. They shot some. They remained at the end of the day. He lost. If he had the PDP governors with him, he would have won. And what was it? They said, since you have taken the presidency, move the chairmanship to the south. He did not. Then they know Wike was leading them. Then give Wike the deputy chair, the vice presidential slot. They did not. So he literally threw away the presidency. So and destroyed PDP. I left them at that point, and I said, there's no way. I went to my polling unit and my ward, and I put my resignation. I put it on the platform. There's no way beating a dead horse. The truth will be told, if he's a patriotic Nigerian, at this point in time, what he will do is to encourage the young ones to move ahead. He has had his time. God has blessed him in so many ways. You're talking about
Atiku.
Atiku as a person. He should be grateful to God for what he's done. Then he'll encourage others. Not want to.
So if Atiku leaves the scene now, who will now match President Bola Ahmed Tinubu? So you want Atiku to lead the scene so that your candidate, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will have an easy ride. No. That's what you want.
Peter Obi is a man of honor, a man of intelligence, a man of intellect, a man of integrity. I do not know that everything you can qualify an honest, good person, Peter Obi represents that. Now, I also know there are people who also are representing their people, but some of them are rather too short-sighted. You know, if you talk about Kwankwaso built a wonderful organization that is called Kwankwasia, and he was virtually everywhere national, but somehow he was unable to manage it, and that's why he's been boxed into Kano State, and he will struggle for Kano State in the next election. So there are so many Nigerians, 1,001 of Nigerians, but the truth be told, President Bola Tinubu started building towards becoming a president a long time. I marveled at a governor who would move one of his commissioners to go to his state. His commissioner in Lagos State will go, why being a governor, why being a commissioner will contest for election in one of the states in the western state and win. That's how he built loyalty. He built a party. At the end of the day, I know what they did, which wasn't right. What they did was they got the core north and the Muslim West to team up, and they formed the APC, and they got them the presidency. And then when it was his turn, he insisted it was his turn. That's how Emilokun came, and they gave it to him. Today, truth be told, there is nobody on the political scene that can win President Bola Tinubu in an.
So you mean that Atiku P2B combo cannot even defeat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu?
There's no way that will be Atiku in a ticket, whether as the presidential candidate or as a deputy, which I know he will not want to be.
No, he cannot, because he's constitutionally out of it.
So
the question is, remember Atiku won 12 states P2B won 12, including FCT, and President Bola Tinubu won 12 states. So what it means that if they had combined their states, they will be having about 24 states against President Tinubu's 12 states. So don't you think it's possible? If you do the arithmetic, if you do the calculation yourself, you're gonna see that. But the question is, would that repeat in 2027?
That's it. You know, let me tell you, in 2023, all of us here, we had a problem with our leader. And she said to us, how can you have your goods and you store it in the warehouse and you're advertising someone else's goods? But today, I'll tell you the truth. With all due respect, I've just told you that P2B represents the best there is in human being. And you will be able
But you said he cannot win as well.
Make a wonderful leader, yes.
But he cannot win.
He will not win this election. He cannot win this election. Let's tell ourselves the truth. Things will not be, even in Anambra State, will not be as the way it was. You know, if they brought some a goat and put on a Labour Party on his neck, and people will vote for would have voted for the goat during the last election.
Because it's Abga.
No, but because it was PD. No, I've been in the 2023 election. Anything Labour, people did not know who the candidates were. They simply went to the polling unit and cast Labour. Labour. That was what they were doing.
Many of them have become.
Today it will not be that way again. Take it from me. No matter, even in Anambra State, it will not be that way. Even in River State, when Wike had to do his magic to get,
so that magic may not work again.
It will not work again.
So some of these things may not repeat themselves
definitely
again.
Definitely not.
So, but I'm looking at a situation where ADC, which many people are seeing as the only party that can challenge your party, APC, because your candidate is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has the right of first refusal, as we know, and we are looking at the possible candidate of ADC, and from the inside, people have made some permutations and said it's going to be Atiku Abubakar, and possibly he may choose P2B as the running mate. So that's the calculation, and if that be the case, Atiku is counting on the core northern Muslims, where he feels he can win votes, owing to the fact that the North are not happy. According to what we are told, the North are not happy with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu because of unfulfilled promises. Many of them felt that they were not given the rightful positions, appointments, and so many infrastructural development as expected to litter everywhere in the northern part of the country. So they are not okay with that. So many of them made do to Tinubu what many did to Jonathan, because they all rallied around Jonathan, but during the election they deserted Jonathan and worked secretly for Buhari. So there is this argument that so many APC influential politicians may work for Atiku secretly, owing to the northern agenda. That is the calculation.
Truth be told, all the northern agenda, all the North can do wouldn't have given Buhari the presidency if Tinubu did not bring his bloc from the west to join. Today, Tinubu holds the bloc, the west as a bloc. The middle belt has become frustrated with what is happening in their place, so they would rather go with the president than go with the
Atiku.
Yes, go with Atiku, who they see as, of course, let me not go into things, but he knows from where he comes from, those people know they are the ones who want to annihilate them. So they will, the middle belt, count it out. The south, and the southeast, as a bloc, will go for the president.
They will not go for P2B.
No. So, once we will have, it will be a little bit difficult if P2B is the presidential candidate.
So you mean if P2B is
but
the
if it's a
candidate,
vice presidential candidate,
the south and southeast bloc will go for Tinubu if P2B is the vice presidential
running
candidate.
mate.
But if he's the president, they will go for him.
That will be a difference.
As a vice president candidate, southeast, south will not go for P2B. But if P2B is the candidate, that is presidential candidate, south and southeast,
yes.
APC will have a problem.
Yes, that is true.
All right, let's quickly take a moment. We've been speaking on the controversies as we have seen everywhere as a result of the issue of electronic transmission of results, section 60, subsection 3, as we have highlighted here, protects we saw yesterday at the National Assembly, and accusations and counter-accusations coming from pro-Tinubu supporters and also pro-Atiku and P2P supporters. They are clashing on this, and pro-Tinubu supporters, they are against electronic transmission, but they have said many times that nobody, no politician living can defeat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The same thing our guest this morning said, but they are saying that electronic transmission is a way for obedience to hack the server in a way that they will credit the vote to P2B and Atiku. But on the other side, P2B and Atiku supporters are saying that we need electronic transmission for transparency, accountability, and probity. Now the question is, who do we trust? Guy says yes, it's of APC. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will win the election, but he supports issue of electronic transmission. Yes, he says he supports that, and that should be the case. But many people have different opinion, and we are really stranded. We are at the crossroad. Where do we go to? Where do we head to? Where do we run to? Parties have not made statements. I've been waiting for ADC to make a statement. They have made their own statement. But if you look at likes of APC, they have not issued a statement on this. Let's take a break. When we come back, we are going to open the phone lines to listen to your thoughts about this issue. 2027 is up, and the whole drama is around the 2027 general election. We'll be right back after the break.
Udala Radio, 104.7 FM.
Measles and rubella are deadly diseases. They spread fast, can cause blindness, brain damage, miscarriage, and sometimes death.
Every day, Nigerian children are at risk. But there is good news. The vaccines can protect your child. The Anambra State government will conduct a mass vaccination campaign for children 0 to 14 years from 4th to 15th February 2026 to protect children across the state from deadly diseases. Take your child 9 months to 14 years for the measles rubella vaccine today. Complete all routine immunization doses from birth. After the campaign, routine vaccination continues in all health facilities. Vaccines are safe, effective, and paid for by the government. Don't wait. Visit your nearest health facility or vaccination site. Leave no child behind. This message is brought to you by the Anambra State government and partners.
When you think of roofing, think of strength. When you think of durability, think of beauty. And when you think of all three combined, think Best Aluminium MFG Limited. At Best Aluminium, we don't just manufacture roofing sheets. We create protection, comfort, and style for your home and business. Whether you're building from scratch or repairing an old roof, we have exactly what you need. Our products include stone-coated roofing sheets, aluminum roofing sheets, and colored roofing sheets. But that's not all. We also offer residential and commercial roofing services, roof repairs, gutters, emergency roofing services, and even durable cookwares that bring quality to your kitchen. Visit us today at 30/32 Anyika Street, Awada Obosi, Anambra State, or call us right now on 0806 416 2374 or 0706 059 6203.
Quality bread, Wendy's bread, For your family breakfast.
Wendy's bread.
How about you turn it to yellow?
Wendy's bread.
Mama, papa, they like
Wendy's bread.
You turn it and do.
Wendy's bread.
Even children, they like
Wendy's bread.
Oh, Wendy's bread. And in town.
Wendy's bread.
You get it better, tasty, we go sweet your belly.
Wendy's bread.
Wendy's your bachi choma.
Wendy's bread.
Wendy's bread, tasty bread. You can contact us on our official address, Second Business Park, Enugu Road, GRA, beside
CPS,
Onitsha, Anambra State. We also have another branch at St. Michael Plaza at Tani Road. Also contact us on 070-1149-1571. Wendy's bread, your tasty bread.
Wendy's bread.
When the stakes are high, the debates get hotter. When the issues demand clarity, we bring the fire. Welcome to Crossfire. Crossfire, where politics meets perspective, where issues are dissected, and where no topic is off limits. From the corridors of power to the pulse of the streets, we break down the politics, the controversies, and the decisions that shape our nation. Join Dr. Tony Olisangbeki as he puts guests on the hot seat, drilling them with the tough questions, demanding the hard truths, and leaving no room for half measures. Get ready for fearless conversations and uncompromising analysis. Crossfire, exclusive on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha, every Saturday from 9 a.m.
Yo, welcome back. It's to Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM. Oh, this very beautiful Saturday morning, and today being the 7th day of the month of February in the year 2026. You're welcome everywhere you are listening to us from. We've seen many comments on our social media platform, on our Facebook. We're going to take those comments, and even if you say you're watching live from any place, we are going to acknowledge that as well. We must do that. Accusations, counter accusations everywhere. The Tinubu disciples, the Jagaban disciples, they believe that the obedience are hackers. They have positioned Russian hackers. They have positioned Turkish hackers everywhere. The Igbos in diaspora's community, they have formed a cartel, a network to hack the 2027 presidential election. According to the Jagaban disciples on social media posts, no evidence, no verifiable evidence. It's just a post. Why we are mentioning these things is just for you to be aware of these conversations. No evidence at all. So it's unverified. So there has never been any verifiable evidence that things they posted, they are true. So, but on the other hand, the obedient movement, they have accused the president of romancing INEC to undermine the election. They say that you are working with INEC. Now they are going to stop that. Where do we go to? Guys, this very morning, Barrister Chuba Oranose has made his own position. He supports electronic transmission, but he has also warned nobody will defeat President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He said he won his party when Governor Chukwuma Soludo was running for governor. He told them during their internal meetings, it is near impossible to defeat Soludo. And the same warning he's giving to everybody who cares to know. It is near impossible to defeat the Jagaban, but he supports electronic transmission of election results. Let's get a thought on some of these statements. 0803 221 6973 or 0803 827 6694. Let's go straight to the phone lines. We have got so many people on the phone lines waiting to be connected. Good morning. You are welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning.
You're welcome.
My name is Antonio Zambeki.
You're welcome.
I'm the vice president in the studio.
Good morning.
Calling from Onitsha.
You're welcome.
Well, let me say that with what the guest said, nobody can defeat Tinubu. I'm buying to that idea, but not the way he is thinking. If it is a real vote, Tinubu will not even get half of the percentage of the voters that day. I'm telling the truth. But people will not, nobody will defeat Tinubu is only President presidential power, region and all that. Do you think that not boycotting a most electronic transmission of results, do you think that it is only the National Assembly's power that happens? Tinubu is involved in that if you don't know. Forget about all the drama and the play from the president. He is involved in this. Pure ED. Nobody will look at, if you really want the true development of this country, honestly, you must support electronically transmission of results. Nobody will reject that because it is a true way to go. Now you ask yourself, why are they running away from it? Because they know that if that happens, all of them there.
Oh, they say that hackers everywhere.
What do you mean by hackers?
Russian hackers.
Igbo
diaspora community hackers.
My speaker, leave all those nonsense statements because to me it is nonsense. Okay, this is because if no matter how you lock your door, some robbers will still break and enter. Because of that, you leave your door open. Now that they are rejecting it, is it now good for people to read easily? To me, I prefer for somebody to crack his brain and throw away his money and force himself into that door by hacking and easily reading it. So for them, it is, I don't know. Mr. Speaker, leave all those nonsense talk. They want to rig that election and they don't want hackers. It is even preferable for hackers to hack our result, and it can be, as in, how do I put it? It will be good to hear that hackers hack our result and it was rigged. So for me, let the hackers hack it. Let them leave it for us. Let the hackers hack it. Than hearing that it was rigged by one person. And I want to tell the guest, Mr. Speaker, because he said that Atiku lost presidential ticket when he exercised his hand. I want to disagree with that. Why will I say so? My speaker, even if Atiku did all those things he said, he will still lose that election because 2023 election was rigged before our eyes. But I thought was won by P2B. Tinubu have only 11 states and P2B won 30 states. It is very clear. Even up to today, if you go to power, it's 6. So why are we pretending?
All right, but then okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. That's a long one saying that P2B won River State as reported by BBC, but you say that it was given to Tinubu that made it 11 or 12 states. But in any case, let's go back. Remember, hacking is also part of rigging. He said it's better for the election result to be hacked than being rigged. Hacking is also part of rigging. Let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning, you're welcome.
Good morning, my speaker, Tony Elizabeth.
You're welcome, it's good to have you.
The guest in the house. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my brother.
Okay, let me start with questions. If this electoral bill, I'm asking the guest in our house, if this electoral bill was, God help us, it will be passed, the electoral transformation of the results, do you think that Bola Tinubu will win this election? That's my first question. If the election goes free, credible, and transparent way, do you think Tinubu will win this election? On your own calculation, on the issue of this election transformation, calling hacker or no hacker, people that want to do something wrong will bring up something in order to do what? To back their own strategy. I hope this thing is just strategy for them to disguise the minds of the Nigerians. But that can never be happen. Let them sign this bill, bring this thing to board, let them manage the hackers. Because the hackers, they can manage them. You can see how America is doing their own. A lot of countries have been managing their own hackers. So Nigeria can never do that. After a lot of money invested in those things, and Nigeria can never. So 2023 election, who hacked it? Is it INEC or who?
All right.
Who did it? So let's be very careful on what we say because this country is bleeding, and those people that support the country bleeding will one day suffer for it. This is a pure democratic system, and some people think that they can monopolize their way out. It's very bad. Thank you, Tony.
All right, thank you so much, Honorable Basil. You asked the question, but I think our guest has addressed that very question. He said during his analysis that he supports electronic transmission of results, but that does not also imply that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will not win the election. Even without, he said that he's going to win, and that's what he said. So he has answered your question. If you had listened during the analysis, he did posit that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will win, even with electronic transmission of results. But that's by the way. Now, there are a lot of contending issues. 12.9 million hackers attempted to hack the 2023 presidential election, according to the Minister of Communication, as at that time, Esa Pantami, and also the INEC. Both of them agreed that 12.9 million attempts were made to hack the INEC server in 2023 general election. So how many, if we allow electronic transmission, will happen? And they said they invested so much, billions were invested to prevent hacking. But at the end of the day, the INEC results did not count. Supreme Court says INEC rules are not law. They are not. They are not in any way going to be one of the grounds for challenging the elections. Good morning. You're welcome.
Good morning, Tony.
You're welcome.
Good morning, the guest in the studio.
Good morning, my brother.
This is Chibuz. I'm calling you from Onitsha.
Chibuz are calling from Onitsha. You're welcome.
Yeah. Please tell your guest that if we can do election in this country called Nigeria, that Tinubu and Co can never win any state. I'm telling you. How can you tell us that hackers that hack is about 2 point something? Is it 12 point something million? Have they hacked the account of the senators? I'm asking a question.
We are not police, so if they hack, they will report to us.
No, they're supposed the hackers, have they told us how many people, the account of those people, have they hacked it? The billions they give to INEC, have they hacked it?
Because
remember
most banks,
let us use it for what? If we didn't get it right, now we can say we don't need it. Please, you people are dealing with human beings, not that they go to a town where you are dealing with people that know more than you. I don't know why you should say that, you have said that, this person will win and he won, and this person will still win and they will win. Why is there a person that knows something telling you that this person?
All right, thank you so much. We got your point. Remember, banks witness hackers coming into their own network. They witness that. Some banks will tell you that their lines have been hacked, but most times they invest heavily to prevent hackers. They invest. So, but I know many of you will be asking Nigerian government and INEC to also invest to prevent hackers. INEC server, definitely by the time we are up for 2027 will be like Nigerian destiny. And there will be attempts. There will be attempts, but if you witness 12.9 million attempts, you know what that means. So, but in cryptographic language, there is what we call hashing. Some of these things will be hatched. And once they are hatched, I know for those of you who are experts in digital forensics, you understand that when something is hatched, it means that once any data is sent, it is broken in a way that it cannot be reverted to its original state. But what these hackers do is that they will just try to guess the original input and do some comparison, and if it matches for them, they have got what they wanted. But we know all these things, but the truth remains that once something is hatched, it can never be unhatched. Let's go back to the phone lines. I'm just telling you this as an expert in that very area. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
Chief Dr. Dim Tony Obona, good morning.
You're welcome. It's good to have you.
My barrister in the studio, good morning.
Good morning, my brother.
I am Great Dim Ezra Fatego, covering the airwaves from Osumoro.
You're welcome.
Only an evil man is supposed to be afraid of her, the good. those who are supporting the APC and the Tinubu, who are against transmission of a result, it is an indication that they are evil. But let me tell you, if we wish Nigeria to do, we must embrace science. Science is every day developing, making life easier, sweeter, and better for man. You see, transmission, let me draw my analogy from football. One FIFA is organizing a competition. The matches will be played live, transmitted live. Not everybody will be in or at the stadium. Those who are at the stadium will be watching it face to face, eyeball to an eyeball. But it will be remain transmitted to those who are not on the studio, I mean on the field. They will be seeing it. It will be live. So the transmit is livelier than afar. Therefore, if Nigeria was to go forward, Tinubu Tinubu and his colleagues must embrace what? Transmission of results. We will be at home and be watching through our face the paper by INEC. We will be seeing it live. Those who are at the police station will be seeing it there live. Everything will be happening simultaneously as paper does it. Now, for those who are saying Tinubu was always doing, Tinubu is out of, with the ADC on board, Tinubu is out of the way. Once transmission and transparency, fairness is encouraged, start around. Tinubu is getting to it already. Good morning, everyone in the studio.
All right, thank you so much. Remember, he has supporters which cannot be underrated. Good morning, you're welcome. It's good to have you.
Yes, good morning. This is Uche from Ela.
Uche, you're calling from Ela. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Tony.
You're welcome.
About what the guest just said, nobody will come on air, especially from APC, and tell you that Tinubu will not win. So all their mind is that Tinubu has already won the election. Even the God himself, the God that called himself Ababio. Last year he said that his election is a done deal. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah.
So he said that his re-election is a done deal. That's what means the God himself has spoken. But that God that just spoke, I think the Nigerians will disappoint him. That's why they are hiding these things they are doing, not allowing this transmission of a thing to come to reality. So if the day comes and the Nigerians are to vote and the election goes transparent and fair, free and fair, I can't see Tinubu win that election. Look at in 2015, look at what happened to Gobiatan. Gobiatan, all the governors in the north, they were coming out, they were working with him, but at the end of everything, they supported him. Even from the southwest, they also, if not the southeast and the south, Gobiatan would have been defeated woefully. So for you to be dreaming that Tinubu will win the election come next year, I think that's a dream, and somebody needs to drink a medicine for malaria, because that can never happen. So that's my take on that.
All right, thank you so much. Some of you having the thoughts that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu do not have, or probably does not have the kind of support you think he has. You may have a rethink, because from what we are seeing, the support base is actually becoming something else. If you go to Southwest, that place is taken already. Southwest is taken. He's actually trying to build on the networks here he has across the country, but would that come to fruition, would that materialize? And then if we look around, many Nigerians believe it's not about having 30 governors, 29 governors as APC governors, that is going to be between Nigeria or Nigerians and your government by the time 2027 comes up. So in all of this, let's go back. Remember what happened last night here in Anambra State, but I believe the security operatives, they have put everywhere under control. So, but it was a very, very disturbing scenario where cultists went after the President General of Ogidi Development Union, Sir Ipuka Okoye, who was slain or was murdered last night as a result of the ongoing campaign, where one cultist was arrested who had killed so many people. If you joined us when we started, we said some of these things, who confessed to have killed over 17 people from Ogidi alone, and then he said also he had killed over 46 people in general. So, but that's by the way. Let's go back to the phone lines. We've got so many calls coming on. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Yes. Good morning.
You're welcome.
You're
welcome.
My line has been on for close to 2 minutes.
Sorry about that. All right, please go.
Yes.
What's the name and where you calling
for
from?
For my time, the time I was spent now.
All right.
You have to add it to subtract it from the time.
All right, please go on.
Henry from Onitsha, GRA.
Henry, go on. You're welcome, Henry.
Yes, Barrister, good morning to you.
Good morning, my brother Henry.
Yes. Let me start by laying a foundation. And I say, propaganda is a very juicy ingredient in politics. Propaganda is a very juicy ingredient in politics. And you must have known that by now. Yes. And the obedience saying the APC we had, the APC saying the obedience we had, and all that. See, I don't live in an abstract. I consider all these abstract. I don't live in abstract, especially in a situation whereby practicality prevails. And what is that practicality? One might ask. Doctor, you did say it now that the former minister of for communication, Mr. Pantami, confirmed over 12 million hacking attempts. Now the pertinent question is, what stops it from coming into being this time around? The good story will tell you, the physician, what we had you did in Capernaum, do it here also in your own country. What stops us, Nigeria, from applying same now? Why would we stop ourselves talking about the hacking? That is an abstract to me. Yes. On the issue of transmission, see, I'm not an in-depth, I don't have in-depth knowledge about the voting process, but I still know that the moment voting is concluded, the party agents there and then sign the results that is so far, and the PO, polling officer, will now go for collection of results. That's all the results from polling booth to a place where most times it is stipulated that the party agents are denied entry. Now I ask this question: the ones that they already have with them, that's the one at the onset at the polling booth. Is it no longer useful that even when they are denied entry at the collection center, where the results might be reached, is the one they already have with them no longer useful? That is the question. And the barrister, I want to say a question at you, please, and I would like you to give us an answer. Give me an answer. Okay. You said you were quite optimistic. You are fully convinced that Toludo was going to win the election, the past election, not the progressive election. Yeah. And you are equally convinced that our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, is going to do same this time around. Please, can you give us the same place? Can you give us the realities on ground that will usher in that? Thank you.
No, it's simple. Look at the spread of the party. Look at the following of the parties, and you will know. Like I told you, I am of APC. But when I watched the campaigning and I watched when communities were paying money to the governor, then I knew it was nothing you can. Usually people expect the politicians to give to them. But in this case, people were falling head over heels to put in their contribute to their campaign funds. So it was everywhere. People were trying to outdo each other to support him. So I knew it was easy for him to win. Is this still what is happening now? Don't deceive yourself. If 29 governors are for you, you mean that 26 states, or the least it could be is that you get the votes, a total number of 26 votes, if not the 29 votes of the states. So the truth is, APC is on the ground. It's spreading its tentacles. More people are there. The people say, look, let them take their turn and go, and let another fellow take over. So he moves to another zone. That's what we are seeing. You don't. It's not the level of performance, which is debatable. Some say he's done very well. Some say he's performed abysmally. But we know that where he is, where he has kept the nation today, is miles and miles ahead from where we were when the former president was there and stayed there for 8 years. You could call it almost 8 wasted years. Today, the president has moved Nigeria in a direction that we are looking forward to a better Nigeria. It may be painful, it may be hurting, but the truth is that Nigeria is shaping up, and that's why we should return him. And while more people have already determined they will return him, and I know that the ADC is a conglomeration of frustrated people, and they will not be able to do the right things to put up a good fight. That's the fact.
All right, let's quickly take some messages on our social media platform. Just like I said earlier on, we're going to acknowledge so many of them there, and we're going to do more. We have Mazin Warrior, Chukwadiromo Sinachi. Wonderful morning to you, my honorable speaker, Chief Dr. Tony Olisambeki, and the guest in the studio, Mr. Tony. This is the type of people we need to come to this studio. We can only say the truth despite tribes or party affiliation. I support the electronic transmission because with this, the voting system in this country will be sincere and transparent. And those kicking against it, I want to critically arrange election. Okay, those kicking against it want to critically arrange election rigging coming 2027, which is quite shameful, disturbing, and hypocritical. All right, we also have this one from Real Arrange and Patlomi and Nede from Enorma. Taking on Reno or mockery serious is like training a goat and expect it to behave like human. How can someone who is an ambassador designate to be typing such kind of ethnic laced and divisive language? So in a manner he has done. So somehow he has alleged that Sibanjo was nominated to be the Buhari vice president, so that when Buhari dies, he will become the president. Well, he has also said quite a lot of things, but then he is known for inconsistencies. So you say something about anywhere face kind of politician, but that's your own thought, but then that's their own statement, it's not our own statement. Alright, we have HPZ Chino. Good morning, my name is Jane from Onitsha. For proper understanding of this controversy and what Nigerians are asking for, can you throw light on how the electronic transmission of results is envisaged? What systems do we have now in management of election results in our electoral system that will support that? Alright, what does Nigeria stand to benefit from mandatory electronic transmission of results, whether in real time or not? Does this argument of hacking the INEC server hold water when there is always the hard copy results? You said quite a lot of things. You want more enlightenment, you want us to throw more light. Maybe Barrister will do that. The benefit we stand to gain if the results are transmitted electronically. Master Obe JP, good morning, speaker watching live from Onitsha. Kalistu Stribike from Onitsha. APC is accusing Obedient of trying to hack INEC server. Is like Morocco accusing Nigeria of trying to use video assistant referee to hack African Cup of Nations. Therefore, CAF should do away with video assistant referee. You see how APC take Nigeria serious. Okay, we have Eleji Christian, we have Ikenga Mpo. Good morning to you all in the studio and watching live from Umusio Mpo. My speaker, the level of cultism in Anambra State is alarming these days. May the soul of Ogidi President General rest in peace. We have this one from Eleji Christian. Good morning, Udala FM. I'm watching from Oba. My own take is anybody supporting APC, you can say those kind of statements because APC is one of the national parties. Let's get back. Keep your comments coming. We are going to take some of them. Let's get back to you, Barrister Orlando. So somebody says, what do we stand to benefit if we allow electronic transmission of results?
It's simple. Now notice that the law says that the result will be countersigned by party agents if they are available. So it's not an offense, or it does not render an election result coming from a polling unit invalid if the party agent does not sign. Now, but if immediately after the results are announced and it is transmitted to the next collation point without having to do the manual taking of it and traveling from one point to the other, which I and you know a lot of things happen there. We will now remove doubts. We will remove gray areas in an election. Anybody now, once the results are announced at the polling units and are sent forward, you will know that this is what result that came from a particular place. So at the end of the day, there won't be any room for argument. There won't be any room for feeling that there are underhands. That is the essence of that electronic transfer, real time. It's not when it's transferred some hours after it has been announced at a polling unit, because we have known instances where results are announced and by the time we get to the collation center, it will not be the same result that will be submitted. Indeed, there were times we were using we remove the original and now take the duplicates, which are about 12 of them from EC8A to the polling units. So once you feel with those units, they make sure that some party agents do not sign, or they will keep some, and when you now bring them from EC8A, the original, you will now bring people who will come and say they were party agents, and they will feel. So when you bring someone that's a variant with what we have, we tell it's not the truth.
All right.
I was a member of I got elected to the local government in 1997 and remained in the House of Assembly from 1999 to 2007. I know what happens in politics. So that's why I want us to go electronical, so that we become transparent and everybody will be happy. If you lose, you know you lose. If you win, you know you win.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you. You can say if you lose, you know you lose, but there are those that will tell you, no, my result was hacked. I did not lose that way. I did not lose. My results were hacked. Good morning. You're welcome. It's good to have you.
Good morning, my sister.
You're welcome.
Good morning, Barrister.
Good morning. Good morning, my brother.
Yes, first of all, Barrister, I thank you for supporting this mandatory electronic transmission. But I quite disagree with you, and I want to ask you, how do you see, or how do you mean that Tinubu is going to win if we have a credible election in this country? I want to ask you, what and what has he done to Nigeria? Is it the borrowing that has gone up that the three presidents that has been there before him? He has borrowed more than all of them, the amount he has borrowed, and the money we are not seeing where it is being put. Is it this thing now, they are orchestrated now for 2027? Because I want to tell you, most of us don't know what's happening. All these defections, Tinubu has his own way of doing all he needs. And this is his plan now. When he elected Buhari, people don't know. He was planning that after Buhari is become. When he speaks Iraqon, people thought that he's joking. I want to tell you, if credible elections can be held in this country, people cannot have water of vote of Nigerians. Ask me why. The reason is this. This country is a very big mess. Killing every day. Okay, insecurity in this country, I want to ask you. Now and the past president, quit and quit is higher. Now then, telling lies. Now and then, which is better. How much is a dollar then before now? How is government moving before now? So please, I don't like people confusing people. If both can be that credible, I'm telling you, Tinubu is not going to have that website again. Even that one that you see he has website was manipulated. Everyone knows that, and I want to tell you, said that we should cast our vote.
All right, thank you so much. Because of time,
the one that we cast in 2023, that in 2022, was it counted?
All right.
Does Tinubu win the election?
All right, thank you so much. We got to play some because we have to let you go. we don't have the time. We've asked so many questions. Did President Bola Tinubu, did he win the 2023 presidential election? You said he won. And he said that there are a lot of things going on in the country, hardship, and then the exchange rates, the inflation, unemployment, and so many things people are passing through. Do you think with these things in view that President will still win the 2027 presidential election, because he's just calculating things happening around us?
See, truth is that though the exchange rate is not where it ought to be, but it's better than where it was when Buhari was on seat. We have borrowed money. As Buhari borrowed, we did not know where it was put. Here we see our roads being built. We see our roads being renovated. We see the contract for Onitsha Enugu Express Road being commissioned again. So there are things. Nigeria is developing. They are expanding. They are doing the coastal line. They are doing the railroads. So let's not be myopic about things, not when it concerns us. Nigeria is moving on a right track. What we need is a consolidation of what has happened. And like I've said, I've not seen any political figure that is yet on the political scene that will match the person of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Ahmed Tinubu. Until we see that person. Like I said, there's a lot of commotion going on at ADC, but I have not seen motion. And I know they eventually will not do the right thing. And once they don't do the right thing, it will just be, how do they call it, a storm in a teapot.
All right. Let's quickly conclude because we are completely out of time. But then let's take this break. When we come back, we now conclude. We're going to make a final statement because it has been controversy everywhere. And this is Crossfire. And you have felt the fire. But let's take a moment. Once we are done, we'll just come back and then conclude.
Udala Radio, 104.7 FM.
ọrịa arụbara na ọrịa osinikuku akpọrọ rubella bụ ọrịa ogbu na nwayọ. Ha bụ ndị nke na-agbasa ngwa ngwa ma bụrụ nke na-akpatara mmadụ ikpu isi, imebi ụbụrụ isi, atụ ọpụọ, ọtụtụ mgbe na-abụ ọnwụ.
Ụbọchị ọbụla nwatakịrị ụmụafọ ala Naịjirịa nọ n'ihe egwu mana e nwere ozi ọma, ọgwụ mgbochi ga-echekwaba nwa gị. Gọọmenti Anambra Steeti bụ ndị nke na-achịkọba ọrụ ịgba ọgwụ mgbochi malite n'ụmụaka ndị a mụrụ ọhụrụ wee ruo n'afọ 14 nke ga-amalite site n'abalị 4 ruo abalị 15 nke ọnwa February afọ 2026 iji wee chekwaba ụmụaka nọ n'ime steeti a pụọ na ya bụ ọrịa ogbu na nwayọ. Kpọga ụmụaka gị malite n'ọnwa 9 wee ruo n'afọ 14 maka ịgbagha ọgwụ mgbochi nyere ọrịa arụbara na ọrịa osinikuku akpọrọ rubella tata. Gbaa ụmụaka gị ọgwụ mgbochi ndị a niile malite n'ụbọchị a mụrụ ka. Ọ bụ na agbachanya bụ ọgwụ mgbochi ndị a ga-agakwa n'ihu wee na-agba ya n'ụlọ nlekọta ahụike niile e nwere n'ime steeti a. Ọgwụ mgbochi a dị mma ma na-arụ ọrụ gogo. Ọ bụkwa nke a kwụrụ ụgwọ ya site n'aka gọọmenti. Ya bụ echenekwa ka agwa gị gaa n'ụlọ nlekọta ahụike ọbụla dị gị nso ma ọ bụ n'ebe a na-agbanya bụ ọgwụ mgbochi. Abịapụkwana nwa gị n'akụkụ. Ozi a si n'aka gọọmenti Anambra Steeti na ndị ha na-ejikọtara aka n'ọrụ ịgba ọgwụ mgbochi.
You're welcome back. It's still Crossfire on Udala 104.7 FM Onitsha. This very beautiful Saturday morning, and we have been exchanging the fires from different angles. Calls are still coming in, but we are completely out of time. I would allow our guest Barrister Chuba Oranosi to make his final thoughts on some of the things that we've discussed this very morning, and reactions, comments coming from people. So many people are not quite pleased when you say that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will win the election. There are those who also echo the same thing, but they believe that the way things are, that he may not win election. But and somebody said, would the magic done last time would it repeat? But you say that a lot of things that happened in 2023 will not repeat itself. And you say that yes, some governors of APC lost their state, but this time around, it might not really be the way it were. The question is election an emotional commodity? People believe that if it is not this, it won't be that. Because there are those that caused President Buhari throughout his 8 years in office. I thought the man would not even survive the courses. But I now realize that courses don't work. Courses do not work, because if they do, that president wouldn't have survived 8 years in office. But they are now using invectives and so many things against Mr. President. But is it so in our own climb, or are we Igbos emotional about politics, or do we go out there to do what we're supposed to do? Yeah, fine, not up, please. I know we don't have time.
People are entitled to their views. Like I said, that people are entitled to their idiosyncrasies. But the fact remains that for me, to move Nigeria forward electorally, we need to do electronic transmission of results, real-time transmission of electoral results. But the fact that does not deduct from the fact that no matter how much, no matter how well the election is done, no matter how badly it's done, the man to win the next election is President Ahmed Tinubu. The only thing he has to pray is that God keeps him alive. If God keeps him alive on that day, you will see the result. No person from elsewhere will win any election in the southwest. No one will win any election in the south-south. We will struggle for the votes. We will divide down the votes in the south-south, in the southeast. We will take the APC will take the middle belt, and the core north will fight for it. So look at the spread of the party. Look at the party. Look the way where the people are moving forward from one party to the other. The campments. You see, the APC is the dominant party and will win outright.
All right, that's their own position. You believe APC will win. There are those that believe that APC will not also win. We have Gospel Okoye on Facebook saying, please, can anyone explain more about transmission and transfer of election results? What is the difference? We've said it. If you have joined us earlier on, we say the difference between transmission and transfer is transmission is real time. Real time is once the polling clerk is announcing the result at the polling unit, he's sending it to INEC server for people to view it. That is real time. Real time means doing it immediately. Then transfer does not confer real time. He can do it by the time he gets to the local government collation center or even the world collation center. He can do it at any time is more convenient. So transfer of election results, if it's electronic, is not real time, but if it is electronic transmission, it is real time. The difference between electronic transfer and electronic transmission is real time. That's the only difference. Thank you so much for being part of this very program. We must acknowledge and also commend every one of you out there who listened, who tuned in. We appreciate all of you for doing that. Remember, the next program will be sports, and we know very well the sports arena, the host, he's here with me in the studio, but I would ask him to make 3 predictions. If he does and these predictions do not come to fruition by next week Saturday, he is going to pay tight. You know, we know very well Arsenal will be taking on
Arsenal will play Sunderland.
Arsenal will play on Sunderland. So what's their prediction? Because they have been asking people to predict. What's their prediction? Prestige.
There will be a win in this game.
Who is gonna win?
I can't really say. Don't say I can't predict what's going on there with the National Assembly about their decision on the results.
All right, I'm also aware that Man City will be playing Liverpool. That'll be tomorrow, right?
Sunday, yes. So it's also a win for a team. I can see.
So you are seeing a win, but you don't know who's going to win. And then I also understand that Tottenham will be playing against
Manchester United lunchtime.
Lunchtime. So that will be when?
1:30 p.m. today.
Who's going to win?
There could be as much as 3 goals in this game.
Who is going to win? All right. You get more of this. You get more of this from Prestige. But at this point, we have to sign off. Thank you so much, Barrister Chuba Irano, say for your time from Oba. Of course, you told us how you lost your polling unit